there are many podcasts I've done, but there haven't been, or I should say, I'm excited for everyone, a single one of them. But this one in particular, I was really, really excited for. We're in for a treat as I'm getting to know her. This amazing audience will as well. But from early reviews from people who know her, she is one hell of a person and so intriguing to talk to. And I have nothing but excitement to get to know each other and have the audience get to know her as well. But having said all that, I have the great Tai Hart on the Productive Conversations podcast today. Good morning, Tai. What's going on? Thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, I'm really excited for this.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure, Tai. Thank you for coming on. So, as I said, let's get to know each other and know all your interests and all fun things. So, right off the bat, Tai, tell me, how are you doing and how's your 2021 started?
This year, the past year, this year has actually been good. I feel like there's lots of optimism coming in 2021. Lots to look forward to. New strains of COVID. All that good stuff. No, but it honestly, it has been a good year so far. I know we're only like 2 months in. But it's looking up compared to last year. Definitely.
Tell me about it. I mean, this time last year, we really didn't know what was going to happen. We'd even get to this point, right?
Oh my God.
And I know you live in New York. You live in Manhattan, Manhattanite. Yeah. And could you talk to me how like those early months of the pandemic were to now? Like, how have you been able to managing through it and overcoming all those obstacles?
Yo, Manhattan was scary. Manhattan was like a scary place to be. Especially in the early months. You know, people definitely in some sections, I feel like Manhattan is so large. It's not really big, but like it's vast in the ways that different communities within Manhattan like respond to different things that are happening. Like with this, I mean, downtown cleared out like so quick. I remember like late March going downtown because it was my ex-boyfriend's birthday and I was gonna get him like coffee beans in a coffee mug. Like we had just started dating. So I was gonna get something like really casual from this nice coffee place that I used to go to. And like getting down there, man, I don't even remember how I got down there because I don't think I was taking the subway, or maybe I was. There was definitely a point where, you know, people were afraid to get on the subway. I was certainly afraid to get on the subway. So yeah, I went down there on like 14th Street. It was bleak. It was empty, like middle of the day on like a weekend or something crazy like that, and no one was out.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. I mean, it's insane. Who would have thought we get to this point? But luckily, that seems so long ago, and we are getting some strides in. We have the vaccine thanks to our friends the amazing people of in the science community and the healthcare, most of all, pushing us through. It looks like we're on track to get to semi-normal summer. I know the mask might still be a thing, but at least like yesterday, they are allowing fans in sports games like in Madison Square Garden and Barclays Center.
Hopefully, I saw that.
As those numbers keep going, we can lead that to Broadway shows coming back. That'll be a huge day once the Broadway community returns. Like I felt that was the moment. Like this, like we're here back to stay, and you know, and other shows and more museums opening and everything else. It's nice to slowly have, you know, people coming back and stuff.
Yeah, I went to the Whitney last weekend, and I went to the MoMA last weekend. Like oddly, twice, which is more than I've ever gone since I lived here. So for some reason I've been going on museum dates. The weather was like really bad last weekend, and so we were like, how do we get inside and not at a restaurant. So I
Yeah.
was like, guess we're going to the to the MoMA again.
Hey, there's always good views, a good tried to always enhance people's likes, I'd like to think.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. I love the MoMA. And
absolutely,
I
yeah.
went to the Whitney for the first time. It was really good.
Such a beautiful view of the end of the Hudson right there.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's stunning.
You know, one thing I used to do, well, like one of the things I used to do on like first Tinder or Hinge dates was walk the High Line. Like
Oh hell yeah.
I done it only a few times, and 2 out of 3 they were great, and one wound up being a relationship. And the end of is always the Whitney there. So
Are you in Manhattan too?
no, I'm not, but I was a commuter for 5 years prior. I'm based in Norwalk, Connecticut, so I'm about 45 minutes to an hour away. But
Okay.
still come as many times as I can. I was
Yeah.
often a couch hopper, and as I created this show to help give me opportunities to move back and move back for good, we're just keep
Hmm.
striving and tasting as much as I can. And if you guys have anything fun to do, I'm always down. And any reason to come to the city and also just enhance what we got and show the world. So
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
so talk to me more. Let's talk more New York City. Where in so where exactly in Manhattan do you live?
I'm in Harlem. I'm on
Oh,
Broadway in like 136.
oh, beautiful area, beautiful area.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really nice up here.
So how did you move from get to New York City? Did you grow up in New York? Did you grow outside of it? Are you just like me striving and made the dream come true? What brought you to New York City?
Well, I grew up with Owen. I grew up with Owen and who you know.
Yeah.
I grew up in New Orleans.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. We grew up out there. We went to high school together. Um, I sort of always knew that I was going to live in New York.
Yeah.
So I say that, and I don't know when I knew it, but I was always a performer. I was like studying dance and theater and things like that, and so I guess it was either like pushed on me or I just like adopted this idea that like that was the place to go if I wanted to work in my field.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was always really serious about it. So I was like, yeah, of course I'm gonna live in New York. Um, so I did school in Pittsburgh for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. And then I wound up here.
Look at that. Look at that. How long have you been in New York since?
I got here. I got here in November of 2016.
All right. So almost pushing
Um,
5 years in November.
days
Congratulations.
I know. Days before he who shall not be named got elected.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which was like an electric time to be in the city, definitely.
Oh, yes. Dumb Agent Orange. Thug
Yeah.
stays away. Yeah. Funny you say that. I was interning in that fall 2016. I was interning at CNN actually. And
Yes.
yeah. And I remember that day vividly when he got elected. First of all, so my schedule was Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So obviously election
Uh-huh.
Tuesday, didn't go to work, voted and everything. Then find out what happened. I remember I was hanging out with my friends like 1 a.m. I was like, man, I have to get up at 6 to go. But when I wake up, I voted for Hillary. We're gonna have our first woman president. We're gonna have some new vibes. We're going to have a new era. Then I got the text, one of the texts I'll never forget in my life. My friend Oscar says, or sorry, my friend Ryan said, holy shit, he fucking did it. And just man. And I remember I was on I do my own phone plan now, but I was on my parents' phone plan and I killed my data for the month because I need to hear first. I'm a big Howard Stern fan, and I heard his reaction to the day, and that killed my data for the month. But I just had to. I needed something to. I was very shocked and uncomfortable with the result, so I needed to hear something to. It was
Oh
comforting. That was
yeah.
the first thing to mind, and then it rained that day. It was. I remember it rained hard,
Oh,
and it was just such it was just so sad. Like it was the subway was quiet. My train was, I go from the shuttle Grand Central to one train and uptown to their Columbus Circle at the time. I think now they moved to Hudson Yards. But yeah, it was just, it felt like a killed vibe, and like it felt like everybody died. Like it was lost a family member, sadly. And
Literally, yeah.
if you've been to Columbus Circle, you know where there's a Trump International Hotel, so that was all barricaded off and stuff, war zone
Yeah.
mode. And so at CNN, they had a big celebration. You know, that's 2 years of coverage for everybody involved. So they had this big gourmet breakfast for everyone, like gourmet
Shit.
bacon, eggs, and cheeses, Belgian waffles, mimosas, and
Yo.
and all. And you know what happened was people just took these exotic foods, sat in their groups, and just talked. And
Damn.
that was the vibe. And as you were moving amongst this too, that has to be some time. But luckily, there's some changes. There have been changes coming. We have a new administration in, and you know, whether
Yeah.
you are for or against it, I think it's time for a change, especially the vibe wise, politics aside. And we're a couple
Certainly.
months in, and hopefully once the warm weather comes too, we're all in a better mood. So what a time.
What a time, man. That's so funny. You said it rained that day, and I'm like, like pictures of that day, that memory. It definitely was raining. It was like drizzling out.
Yeah.
We went and like marched on Trump Tower that night. So good.
No way. That's badass too.
Oh
Man,
yeah, yeah.
so glad he's just permanently banned, and we could start a road to recovery, even if it's a long one. At least we're stepping in the right direction.
I want to forget about it.
Absolutely. Well, why don't we forget about the other positive New York City vibe story? So you like the museums, obviously part of the theater community. What other thing, like the special New York things and East Coast things that you particularly love, Ty? Are you someone who loves to see like New York in the fall is spectacular, or you like the millions of pizza places you could go, or other, I mean, any cuisine really. What other New York things do you particularly like?
I mentioned it earlier, just the that you don't have to go very far for the vibe to be completely different.
Oh yeah.
As far as like the neighborhoods go, like we're given like a little like in the Heights, like Latino vibe out here, like, and then Harlem is kind of different from that, and then Upper West Side, Upper East Side's totally different. Like it's crazy.
Definitely. What do you understand? This answer might change because it changes for me. Could you tell me just some of your favorite places to eat in New York?
Oh shit.
Like for me, I could start off. I love this place called the Nugget Spot. I love getting my cows in. Yeah, right in the East Village. It's just, oh, I mean, I love my nuggets, and I do try, but I would say relatively well, but I'll sacrifice a cheat day every day to get those nuggets.
Oh yeah.
Even if they are, I say, even though they may be expensive, it's quality over quantity. That's how I look at it.
Absolutely.
Again,
have you ever been to what is it called? Have you ever been to Wohop City?
Wohop City. I have not, but I love that name. What is Wohop City?
Wohop City is like your classic, like giant menu Chinese restaurant, like very, like American Chinese food. Yeah. It's so good. But the thing about Wohop City is they have this like, you like go down to the like lower level seating, which I'm sure you can't do right now, and all the walls, like floor to ceiling, are these like paneled mirrors. So it's really trippy, and like you got
you really see yourself.
Bright fluorescent lighting. I don't know why that is, but I know that it's at Wohop City. Great Chinese food too.
All right, I love me some orange chicken in particular. So
hell yeah.
I'm gonna take you up on finding that place. And I can remember Wohop City because my dad grew up in Co-op City in the Bronx. So That's how I'll remember that.
Here you go.
Is there a particular pizza? Are you a pizza fan? Are you like Dave Portnoy for Barstool jumping around? Do you have a from all the pizza places in New York?
That was good. I don't think I'm like a pizza like aficionado. I'm not going around like, oh, this pizza's really good, that pizza's really good. I do know that I could get, dollar pizza here that's better than anywhere I've ever had it before.
Oh, yes.
Like cheap pizza is good in New York.
With here's my thing. I do agree. If you get a great 99-cent slice, go for it. But it's tough. I once had a trouble moment. I had 99-cent slices and I got really sick the next day. And it's always been tough for me to pick out the right ones because I know they're out there, but
you're scarred.
I'm scarred. I am scarred.
That's okay.
I could trust a Two Bros pizza. That's fine, but I just don't want to hit the wrong 99-cent slices because it was just didn't even have a name. It's just 99-cent slices. So
yeah, no name.
That's how I know. That's lessons learned on that.
Yeah.
Man. But pizza person. But Chinese person or Chinese food person, love it.
Yeah. Asian food all day. I mean, Vietnamese food, Chinese food, Japanese food. I mean, like sushi, pho, Thai food. Let's go.
I didn't have sushi and Thai food till 2 years ago. Not once.
What?
I used to be the pickiest eater, Thai. And it was honestly, I was dating one of my exes, so I dated in the Upper East Side, just to convince me to try it. And I had my calamari tempura roll.
Look at you.
And I like these places, especially in New York, that are bring your own wine. So you're out with somebody, you bring it in the middle, and so that's why I need to open my horizons. And you can't get nuggets all the time, so you'll just look silly too. But I'm more open to it now. So
New York City is a perfect place for that.
Besides the food, of the desserts, I love me. Whether it's a Carlo's Bakery, if you could somehow get in line, or willing to wait the 40 minutes, or there's this exotic milkshake place I'm still trying to try. They even have adult milkshakes. What about you, Ty?
Hell yeah!
Tell us some underrated hidden gem dessert place that you can bless us with.
I'm gonna be really boring. I haven't done any of the like Instagrammable dessert experiences that there are, but I know they're out there. It's like the cronut and like all of the milkshakes, like the crazy milkshakes that you see that have like sprinkles on the side of the glass and like all this crazy shit. Dough is that place that had like lines around the corner. For a really long time, and then Milk Bar's kind of become a staple. Yeah.
It's also really good. Big Gay ice cream.
Big Gay ice cream is so good.
I don't care if I pay $9 for a thing this big. It is fantastic.
And they sell their shit in pints too, so you don't have to go there to get it.
I'm sorry, you say?
Oh, sorry. I'll just inhale ice cream. So I don't like to eat it a lot because I'm like, this is gonna go to waste. I'm just gonna like breathe this in and then it's gonna be fun.
You're enjoying it vicariously, even in this Shamrock Shake season.
I can appreciate it. Ooh, is the Shamrock Shake out right now?
Yeah, I saw it. I passed McDonald's with it, and as I should probably inhale more of these things, but
life is short.
What can I say? Thank you. See, somebody gets me.
Absolutely. Eat more dessert.
See, it's not so bad. I feel like some people are almost afraid to admit they just love that sweet tooth in a time where nutrition is key. And, of course, like I used to be a much bigger person and I God hated being called fat, so I had to change that diet, except for the nuggets, but and just work out like a maniac. And but I feel like some people are afraid to admit they just love it. It's not nothing wrong with just cheat meals and stuff. Like, don't you agree with that? And enjoying other cuisines?
Absolutely. I'm like the number one proponent of giving in to your guilty pleasure.
Mhm.
Um, um, I'm a bad influence. If you're around me and you want to indulge in something, I'm gonna cheer you on, which is probably not always a good thing, but like, get that dessert.
What's that saying? Do as I say, do the half of what I say, do everything I say, or half of what I do.
Yeah,
A little stuff along those lines, but
something like that.
you'll probably be a cool mom with that if you keep that energy up.
I will. I would be a cool mom. I plan on it.
I love it. I love it. So we did New York. We hit talking cheat meals and stuff like that. I'd love to hear more about you as a performer. As you mentioned, you went to school for the arts part of the theater community. What have you been up to even though it's been a challenging time for the theater community? But now as we're seeing things slowly changing for the better and we're getting more audiences in there, tell me what your past experience as a performer, like what have you done in the past, whether from dance as you mentioned or acting or musicals. Tell me about that side of you as an actor.
Sure. Yeah. Um, so I studied musical theater and dance in New Orleans at the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts.
All
It's a
right.
really cool institution. There's nothing really like it around in the South. Like, people will come from like an hour, 2 hours away, to get the training that they have at this school. It's really, it's crazy, but it's such a good thing that it exists. And it's state funded, and
Can't complain with
studied
that.
there. What's up?
I was just saying, can't complain there.
Can't complain with that. Yeah. So I feel like I got a pretty solid education there. I moved on to Point Park University in Pittsburgh, where I studied dance. Did that for 4 years. And then after I moved here, I made a few contacts along the way, like getting here. That's kind of a whole different story. I like volunteered on organic farms for 8 months.
Volunteer on organic farms.
In 2016, like a couple different ones, and I was just sort of like bopping around the state in my like hoopty that was like definitely waiting to break down on me, and eventually did break down on me once I got to New York. Thank God.
Just in time.
Just in time. Yeah. So I met someone who would later get me like my first, or would lead me to the gig that I had for about 3 years when I got here. I danced with a company called Christina Noel and the Creature.
All right.
Part of the Creature for, like I said, 3 years. They're a dance company first, definitely. It's dance theater though, so I got to use my background in like acting and singing really, really heavily in that. It helped a lot in that company. We made everything, ourselves. Like we would make the work, whether that be the movement, the vocals. Like, we made songs, we made jokes that we were like a dance company that was also a band.
Oh yes, I love nothing beats when you see like heavy, like by heavy I mean just like having good amount of powerful band and you could just dance along to it. That's why I love like watching Super Bowl halftime shows and
Hell yeah.
And like what's the word I'm looking for? If you hear a number and everybody in the mob dances in it, like a mob of people.
Yeah.
I don't want to say mob rush, but because that's definitely not the word. But anyways, I just love seeing that. I just love seeing great choreography and a lot of music.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I was fortunate enough to work with them for 3 years, and I decided to take a break and try to develop some other physical skills. That's just sort of how I word it. But I was training in aerial silks. I was taking a couple classes at a pole studio, so I was like doing pole dancing.
Nice.
So I was like just entering those worlds, and then COVID hit.
The COVID moment. It's
COVID moment.
like my COVID moment, I was just like my forte here was doing TV production, and also I worked a little bit in theater too. Did a theater casting company, and so I've been in dance auditions, had to have your red and blue cards, and seeing resumes.
Yeah.
I actually love casting process. I love that patience. I'm the person who would do the 10 hours and to see people, because I'm just a sucker for talent, and like seeing the next big star out of that. So
it's cool to be on that side of the table.
Oh yes, and I've also done reality TV casting too, and that was my latest job with that.
Yo, that's really fucking cool.
Thank you. So that project, as similar for what you as a dancer and actor, a lot of freelance work, hopping from project to project. Did both the staying on the corporate long-term full-time jobs, and also done the freelance work, and hence also coming back to that in a way, do that here is this podcast, and also just it's not only just a career thing, but I just love, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life anyways, just talking with interesting people such as yourself and showing my listeners are great people. And it's a great way to show my creativity, but also just my passion of great conversations and stuff for my career and life. So having said all that, I finished my project. So just was unemployed and was just interviewing for jobs at the time. And I interviewed for two once I went deep into interview processes for. One was a major late night talk show in New York, and then one was another production company. And then COVID hit. I remember my interview was down in West Village, and I said to my interviewer, "Oh, this coronavirus, hope it doesn't come here." And I said that to shouldn't have said that. So I
crazy.
Yeah, that basically what happened. I was just pretty much down in the dumps for a good 6 months until September. And I just had this passion because I did a radio internship. I used to intern at Sirius XM radio. And I just took everything I learned from there and made this opportunity out of it. And now as I interview for jobs again and getting back in New York, because that's all I really care about, I've just been using this as my bridge to make it happen.
That's so cool. I love that you're like, this is such a cool thing to do with your time and your experience. Like you're basically just like putting people on, which is like, that's the coolest thing ever.
Absolutely. And I've just been very lucky to have a generous curiosity. I'm able to talk with people from all over the plate, all over worlds with different backgrounds and backgrounds and worlds and stuff like that. And it's just, I've been very blessed to have that opportunity to do that. And like I said, it's convenient that is enhancing my career, but I'm doing it for free, and I just love doing it it's my hobby as well, and doing that and just talking with interesting people. So thank you for those kind words. And
absolutely.
So more of the things with the dancing, I'm going to just ask some like really practical. Tai, what is your favorite song to dance to, or a few of them? Whether it's from a show, whether it's a jazz number, whether it's just some hip hop song or pop star. What are some of your favorite songs to dance to? Like me, I would say the Cotton Eye Joe, or or I'll also go with Gasolina, Daddy Yankee's Gasolina, or Bad Bunny, Sapphire.
Ooh, anything Bad Bunny.
Oh yes, you want to know stuff that I was this close from seeing Bad Bunny on SNL. I got the standby ticket, but we didn't get in. So
damn.
Hopefully next time. But I love
Yeah,
Bad
next
Bunny a
time,
lot.
definitely. That's funny. Yeah, definitely anything Bad Bunny. I like I'm thinking back to a time when you could dance inside. I like, I really like when somebody who knows what they're doing, as far as like partner dancing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Somebody who knows what they're doing, like, grabs you and wants to dance with you. Like,
Mhm.
that's the best. I work at this coffee shop sometimes, and we have this guy in the kitchen. His name's Adaris, and he's a sweetheart. He's worked there for years. And funny enough, we were playing some Bad Bunny, and
Of course.
he started like teaching me like bachata, and like, so we
Look at
were like
that.
doing bachata like behind the counter. It was great. Little moments like that where it's like you're like communicating through your bodies, and like that's everything to me.
That's what's really cool about certain cultures that really enhance dance too, whether especially like Caribbean cultures and stuff like that. It
Hmm.
is a way to communicate and storytell, and like that's my thing, talent and storytelling in sports. Like that's what gets me up in the morning, and that's
Yeah.
where I can show that with this podcast too, and understanding, appreciating that just makes everything better, and more fun.
The first person to ever teach me theater, Owen too.
Oh, he's very talented. He
It
he
was
can go
yeah, yeah.
in.
He was the head of our department, and he almost every lecture, every sit down, every like pre-show talk he had with us, he just drilled it into us that like what we're here to do is tell a story. That's that
Yes.
that is the penultimate thing. Like, nothing else matters. Tell the fucking story, and you've done your job. And I
Yes,
love that.
that's the best part of life, honestly, and that's something that universally, even through different languages, uh, we all we all just want a story at the end of the day and to cheer
We've
for it.
been doing it since the beginning of time, tell,
Yes.
telling each other stories.
Oh yes, and that's what the best part of this podcast is telling those stories.
Yeah. But favorite songs to dance to. Like I said,
Mhm.
Bad Bunny, definitely. Um, Favorite song to dance to. Honestly, I love a line dance. I know that's
Mhm.
cheesy, but like
Hey,
I do love a line dance. Um,
I support it too. We bounce around and it's fun. Like if you see people like Madison Square Park one day, just the conga line or whatever, or at a
oh,
wedding.
a wedding, yeah, weddings are the best because of line dances
You know what the funniest thing,
and
the
the
most,
open bar.
oh my God, I cannot wait. Open bar. I want to get into drinks at one point too. But you know what the funniest, most awkward situation I've seen is it's not that awkward, but it's still funny. But so wedding reception, everyone's there. You got, you know, you have the two partners family there and everybody's going crazy. And I remember, so bride and groom, and I guess they were really feeling themselves, and, and the bride was just feeling it, and she just started riding the cheeks of her new husband. And I just remember the bridesmaid screaming, no, 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 your grandma's right there.
I love it. Everybody's like, you're uninhibited as you would be like in the club, but
Yeah,
like your whole family's there too.
that'd be, I'd be a hard sell for me. Exactly, that'd be awkward too. But just the one time, and then everywhere else go crazy.
Yeah, yeah. You get one day to do that.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, can I ask you one thing, Ty? And I'm very
Anything
interested in
matters.
this. Oh, thank you, thank you. So we've seen a really awesome rise of the OnlyFans movement, and you, Ty, are part of that.
Part of it.
So, first
I'm
of
a
all,
bandwagon OnlyFans girl.
fuck it. Whether it's you or we just seen Eric Andre join, it's been a good time to it's been a good time to see people wanting to get a hustle. We're starting to break stigmas of sex work. We're starting to make this mainstream for good reasons. So, Ty, you're a part of OnlyFans. You have an OnlyFans. Feel free to plug it as well for anyone interested in wanting to see the great work Ty does over there. But tell me, Ty, uh, why OnlyFans? You said you just bet you're on the bandwagon, but why did you join this movement of OnlyFans?
So first of all, you can find me at onlyfans.com/heart of Tai, HARTOFTAI. I think it's like $7.99. Nothing.
We all
why
start somewhere.
yeah, absolutely. I honestly, out of boredom, Matt, like
Mm-hmm.
I I really was, and it was getting to me like emotionally and like spiritually, just the like the monotony of having nothing to do, really. Like I work one day a week at this coffee shop. I work out sometimes in my room, because it's freezing cold outside.
Mm-hmm.
I think I started it in late November, so it had just started to get cold out. And going outside for no reason really became less of a thing. Like when the weather is nice, you can do that in New York, and there's always something to do. You're always going to run into somebody on the street. I know like a lot of people in the neighborhood. So yeah, honestly, it sounds lame, but like out of sheer boredom, I was like, let's just like see what this is all about. Like I'm on all these dating apps, and I get a lot of attention, whether it's for being trans or whatever. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know that I get a lot of attention on dating apps, and so I was just like, hey, why not charge for it? Like,
Yeah. I think it's important to point it out that this is just a way, a fair, consensual way to, beat the boredom, as you said. And also, it's a tough time for people to get money out here. And let's be
oh, yeah.
real, no matter what your orientation is, except if you're asexual, everyone likes sex one way or the other.
Hell yeah, it's the
So,
oldest profession.
yeah. So, go back to the Bible. There was prostitution as early as in Jesus's time.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool now, despite that people made it so taboo, whether it's higher ups and communications and censoring and stuff. And as whether it's the rise from social media or just more mainstream stories to use that part of life that everybody connects to one way or the other, and most importantly,
Yeah.
do it a connection in a consensual, loving way. It's time to have people like you show off their stories, and we've seen examples of people putting themselves out there, whether in the adult industry or what, and people are getting taken advantage, especially women. And this is a great way now with OnlyFans to say like, hey, it's okay to feel this way. It's okay to have that empowerment. And this is just be from the sidelines cheering on and seeing this cool thing and just another way of storytelling. So basically tying this all together, could you talk to me about the empowerment that OnlyFans gives you and gives other people in your situation and during this movement of the rise of OnlyFans and making it more mainstream? What is that empowerment it gives you particularly, Ty?
Yeah, as I feel like as a woman, you are a lot of times like you move through the world in a way that is like generally at the mercy of men, but just I mean the patriarchy, like like everything you do is touched by the like male gaze, and so to make this to have this platform and really to open a bit, it's like I opened a business.
Yeah.
It's like I opened a small business. So to take what is just already within you, and this thing that is being taken advantage of otherwise, and put whether it be a subscription price on it or just like you're just owning it, you're owning what is already there, what is already in some senses being taken advantage of by people, by men. And you're saying like no, like I'm not going to be taken advantage of, like pay up, but really pay up, like that, respect me,
Yeah.
like that's really what that means. So yeah, it's really cool. It feels really good to to not just feel like, thrown to the wind, like I'm out here and this is who I am, but like I can reclaim some of it and benefit from it.
Oh, what a great answer. And I appreciate you sharing that and showing the most the coolest part is this is you as a human being showing your worth and showing that people can appreciate and respect you. Of course, there's going to be assholes out there, and fuck them. They're losers
Sure.
and won't get recognized. But this is an awesome moment for people like you, and people have done well with their OnlyFans. Like I have this fact, right? There is a girl named Kaylin Ward. She raised $1 million during the wild bush fires of Australia. She used that as a charitable cause. And like we said, people are willing to pay for it and enjoy it. And this is just your way of showing entertainment and just your way of just showing entertainment and empowerment. And I just think that's a
Absolutely.
really cool way in getting again earning your hustle and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's really sweet. And that's what I really want to show my audience and others too. OnlyFans isn't just a porn site. It isn't. It's literally not designed as that. It's a way
Yeah.
of show of it's a way of showing empowerment, giving people their way of expressing themselves, and that there's a paying audience for them to enjoy them and get their fans, get their tips as well. So that's what's really important, and an emphasis I want to show with that. So, and I appreciate you being part of that and telling your story with that. And we
Sure.
just really appreciate you, Ty, for sharing that part.
Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome. And if you don't mind me asking, you don't have to give an exact number, but you probably get a good amount of money from it, right? And I mean, again, it's your business with the finances, but if you don't mind just giving like a range, or like whether it's a certain amount of figures and stuff like that, like do you mind saying how much can someone can earn from doing OnlyFans?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess just to give you a better idea of, because I feel like there are lots of levels. Like raising $1 million is totally a thing that's out there, and you can do it. But I feel like your average person, or wait, let me just speak for me, because I can really
Yeah.
only speak for me. I feel like I put an average amount of effort into it.
Yeah.
There's that, and that's the other thing that I think people maybe realize but don't register right away, that it's so much work. Like
Yeah.
I didn't have a Twitter before November of last year.
Mhm.
I didn't know what Reddit was before November of last year.
Now once you know Reddit, you can't go back.
I have my own Discord server now. I didn't know what
Oh yeah.
Discord was. So it's work. I mean, every day I get up and I think about what I'm going to post. If
Yeah.
if you're not posting daily, then you're losing money, or you're falling behind.
Yeah, you don't want to have your audience bored. You have to give them, something to
Yeah,
subscribe and enjoy.
it's a really is a 24/7 job. And you choose to opt in or opt out of it. Like for the past 2 weeks, I didn't post anything, honestly, just because I was in such a funk, not feeling too hot. And I realize and recognize that that's going to happen. I'm a human being.
Yeah. No
But I
reason
lost a
to
lot of
take a break.
money. I
Oh,
lost a lot of subs, I think I pay $1,000 in rent a month. And January I paid my rent with earnings from OnlyFans.
look at that. So you can as anything in this world regarding content creation or just putting in work, just have to put in effort, but you can get a good chunk of change with your talents and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. All right. So again, you want to check out Tai's OnlyFans, go to onlyfans.com and let's search Heart of Tai. And you can check out all the great content she produces right there. All right, let's switch up to other things, Tai. You mentioned, I think it's fair to say, or you mentioned and implied that you do you enjoy drinking? You love enjoying adult beverages?
I'm a casual drinker, yeah.
Yeah, casual drinker, as I am myself.
Social drinker.
Yes, drinking responsibly.
Responsibly, first of all.
Most of all. So, what are the things, especially with New York? Tell me, what are some of your favorite things to drink, adult-wise?
Ooh. So I went through a period in school, and it kind of flooded over to my first couple years in New York, where like gin and tonic was my thing. I think it was mainly because I realized I liked it. I'm sure like someone I was with ordered it at some point, and I was like, oh, that's really good. And I like citrus. I love lime, you know. So gin and tonic was like my thing to order at the bar. And I think it was an avoidance of just being like that girl, like, can I get a vodka soda or like a vodka cranberry? Like I wanted to avoid that. So my go-to was the gin and tonic. And I, you get like a myriad of reactions when you're like the white girl ordering gin. Yeah, so that was my go-to, but I'm open to tons of things. I dated this guy recently who was really into cocktails. He's got like a cabinet of bitters and makes his own simple syrups and reductions and all this stuff. And
all right,
so he turned me on to a few things.
Do you have a favorite cocktail, or what are your favorites? Like for me, I love whiskey sours. I go all day crazy.
It's so funny. We made whiskey sours last night.
Oh, do you have any left?
We drink them all.
Fair enough.
Oh, favorite cocktail. I love a mojito. Citrus and mint is like such a good combo.
Oh yeah, especially in the wintertime. Those really hit.
Love a mojito, love a mule. I've been drinking lots of hot toddies. Just you saying wintertime made me remember that.
Oh, I have a Moscow Mule story. So it is. So you know that famous drink. So I worked at this production company. It was a pain in the ass. Oh my god! Except I got a few solid real friends out of it, but it was just
the struggle brought you together.
Exactly. It was oh my god. That's a whole podcast itself. But every month, they would do these things called whiskey nights as a networking event. And I swear, I mean, they probably know better than me, but all I would just see is just people get fucked up and like annoyingly drunk. And we had to clean them up, and we had to, make sure everything was okay. I remember this producer, she just got destroyed off Moscow Mules with her little posse.
What's in a mule again? Isn't it gin?
I believe so. Let me do a quick Google search.
Look, yeah, the official. What's in an official Moscow Mule?
Officially in a Moscow Mule, it is 1/2 ounce of vodka, half an ounce of ginger beer, and a 6 ounce of lime juice.
Okay,
pretty simple.
I'm into that.
And but the thing is, she got so plastered, Tai, that she passed out in the bathroom. They found her passed out in the bathroom. I'm like, this is a college.
This is a college story. Amateur hour.
Yeah. I'm just like, and she was just so annoying all the time. I just wish I could be TMZ and to break her out. This person passed out in the bathroom at a work event.
Oh no.
And she's like a mother. I'm like, man, your kid would be so ashamed.
She needed it. she needed that night.
I guess
She's a
so.
mom. Oh my God.
Fair enough.
She deserved it.
But if she was just nicer in her days, maybe I would
Uh,
have supported it more. But I just found that always funny.
mm.
And I could just picture her with that Moscow Mule cup, pound and pound and pounded. And then she would have us get her ice for that. And I'm like, man, this is your world. We're living in it, I guess.
That's how some people live, man. Especially in New York.
Oh, tell me about it. Tell
That's why
me about it.
I have avoided serving in the city at all costs. Like I was a server for a little bit and in Pittsburgh at this like hoity-toity place. I wasn't even a server. I was like a server assistant. I was like learning how to serve. Like I said, it was a really nice place. But just to see, I mean, and experience some of the stuff that rich people think they can get away with. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even try it in the city. I haven't even gone out for a serving gig.
No need to if you're getting bread one way or the other. So
Yeah.
I just that was something. And but besides that, I really love whiskey drinks, like the whiskey sours. When I first started drinking, I remember I would try to seem cool and get like Zodrigs at 21, like, oh, get me an old fashioned. And I'm like, 21. This isn't like the 60s or something. But
Got like an old fashioned at like a club. Like
that's what happened. My 21st birthday. Do you know the club Slate? It's in the Flatiron District by any chance?
wait, I've never been to Slate.
It's like the best club, the best looking. Like it looks like a high end club, but anyone could really get in. You just have to get in line. It's just long with
It's
no
still
cover
there.
either. I don't know. I'm about to Google. I hope so.
Slate and Flatiron.
So Slate NYC, according to Google, it is open. Oh, good to see. They open at 4 today. But yeah, it's cool. So pretty much the way they set up, like you first, like at midnight, they would actually open up the room, but people like there's a whole floor bar with like games. You could play like Big Connect 4 or Jenga or ping pong.
Oh.
It was a really cool setup. But anyways, I went there for my 21st birthday, and that was a really great time. It was really fun. And I remember I was hanging out with friends. I was like, get me a bourbon. I said a bourbon.
A bourbon.
How it worked. But I remember it was all because someone was buying me the drink and they didn't have enough cash. And I paid for my own drink after being a few drinks in already. But hey, now I just order, and I would order like rum and Coke. And then I'd learn how much sugar that gets into your blood veins. You get really messed up. So now I'm just a regular person. And usually the whiskey sour is often, but yeah, I missed out vibe. You excited to go out again?
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
I've been thinking so much about warm weather lately, Ty, especially I'm sure as you was too.
It's crazy. I keep looking, the Times has that they have like a really like in-depth analysis of like just they're keeping track of coronavirus, like
Yep.
rate of infection, death toll, like all that stuff, and it goes down to like the specific city. So whenever I'm like curious or anxious or something like that, I'll like look I'll look on their website and look at the one for New York City, and it goes all the way back to March of last year, when they first started recording cases, to see how low the cases were in like June, July, August. It's insane. Like, and I like look back on it, and not that I didn't have a good summer, like I really did. I went to Fire Island. Like I had a pretty good summer, but was super cautious the whole time, and probably didn't do a lot of the things that I now looking back, like I was like, oh, like I probably could have done that, or should I have? Maybe not. Like maybe that wouldn't be the most like socially conscious activity to engage in, but the numbers were so low in like summer last year.
Yeah,
I don't know what they attribute that to. I don't know what the cause of that is. Is it the weather?
I guess so many people just were outside all the time, like like would go outside pre like social media and video games and movies and Netflix. I feel like that
Like
must have been a
kicking
huge,
cans down the street. Like
yeah, they just really were socially distanced and following. And I agree with you. Like the summer, I had a pretty good summer for what you could do, but
sure.
you were always scared. You didn't know what was around the corner. You didn't want to be around an affected
Scared to
person.
death. Yeah.
And that's probably what I'm most excited for coming in this warm weather is more people get vaccinated. And
Right.
that's what I just been more than usual, just thinking I can't wait to just be out of here and move about. And like I said, I have a lot of friends in New York, and like I'm out in Connecticut, and it's been good enjoying what the time I've had, but it's time to just get my career back. It's time to enjoy life. And even going out, when I went to 30 Rock this past weekend to be in standby, that was just so much fun because it's just around being around people, you know.
Hell yeah.
And we tested negative for COVID, so that's always a good thing too.
Nice. I'm gonna go stand in line tomorrow and try to get tested. I'm technically a restaurant worker, so I'm approved for the vaccine. I just need to get online and like do it.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's a great thing to hear. We definitely
Yeah.
have to party once you get your shots in.
Hell yeah.
Before we start wrap up, you've been killing it for an hour. I really hope you've been enjoying it because I've really enjoyed getting to know you and the audience. I'd love to come back. I'd love to have you come back and
Oh,
talk
hell
about other
yeah.
things.
I would love
Yes.
that.
Big win there. So
This is
why don't
fun.
we I appreciate you saying that. I have had a great time too. But what are just some of the things what other things are you looking forward to post-pandemic life?
Oh, I want to work again. I want to
Yes.
dance. I want to dance again. Um, I want to dance professionally, but like
Mhm.
also just to be, and I don't know how far away we are from this, but just to like be in a club and like feel the electricity in a room full of people dancing. Oh,
Yeah.
it's like a drug. It's like a drug that I didn't know that I was addicted to until I
Mhm.
couldn't have any more of it. Like it's insane. I really, really miss that. I want to travel. I've never been to
Yeah.
Europe before. I want to travel so bad. I can't imagine like once travel restrictions are like lifted, how how many people are going to be traveling internationally. Like
Travel
it's gonna
is booming.
be
Yeah. I have a cousin who was in Queens. She's a flight attendant for Delta, and
uh-huh.
he's crave it too, and just seeing the empty planes and stuff. But starting to go back. Help my cousin's industry out is basically what I was saying.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I really want to travel too. I started when I started to make enough money travel. I did for the first time in 2019, October 2019. I went to visit my friend Brad in Los Angeles and
Hell yeah.
experiencing that culture. I really want to go to your hometown. I really want to go to New Orleans.
Yeah, you
I'm
have to.
I'm sure you got a lot of love for it, but you're just you grew up in that environment. Just see what else is out there, and growing up here in the tri-state area, I just want to see more of that environment. And as you go the famous Bourbon Street and have some jambalaya stuff like that. Where should I go? Could you suggest me some places in New Orleans?
Oh shit. I haven't been there in so many years. I like when I go back, I'm a tourist. Like,
Really?
yeah, absolutely. I know, I think so the Owen definitely grew up uptown, which is like closer to the city proper.
Hmm.
And I grew up out in Metairie, which is like a 15-minute drive. It's the suburbs.
Hmm.
Um, so I didn't really like grow up in the city. But it was always like
Yeah, that's like
in
your area.
earshot. Um,
Like
so
that.
I didn't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that's like me and like being really close to New York's vicinity and stuff, and was being a
Absolutely.
commuter. So I know where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. And we went to high school down there, like in in New Orleans, like downtown New Orleans. so I got a taste of it then, and then as soon as I was down there, I felt like I was gone.
Yeah.
I studied in Pittsburgh, and then I moved to New York. So every time I go back, I feel like I'm a tourist.
Mm-hmm. Different world. Yeah, I can see where
Different world, yeah.
And well, always appreciate the vibes they give and the great reviews for NOLA.
Hell yeah. It's a great place.
But yeah, and especially you, I'm just excited to be amongst people again, being in a bar, club. I can't wait to break down to Bad Bunny music. I think about this, Ty. Bad Bunny had like 2 albums in this pandemic that no one's really like balled out to,
Right? Oh my God.
So it's time to live it up again. And
It's time.
Thanks to our friends again. Like I said earlier in the show, is just thanks to our friends in science and healthcare for getting us there. And
Absolutely.
it's gonna be all right. So last thing I want to do, Ty, before we say goodbye this time, but looking forward for the next time for sure, is I do this thing called the Proust Questionnaire, which is a 10, they're not rapid fire, but they're short but deep questions where it's just a very again, like I said, they're deep, but you just really find out about people with this. And I would just love to you to be part of this, and I'm really interested for what you got to say.
All right, let's go rapid fire.
Let's do it. So my first question for you, Ty, what is your favorite word?
Fuck.
I love
Definitely.
it. You could use it so many different ways.
It's every part of speech, I think.
It is a noun, an adjective, a verb. Hits it all. Yeah. What's your least favorite word?
Work.
That's the first one there. I figured that would be more popular, but there is a cringiness when people say that. Low key and high key.
Yeah.
So my third question is not necessarily a sexual question. If you want it to be, that's fine. But this is more of just and I've asked this if people have said sex. So you know what? Power to everybody. And basically my question is, and this is just more of a life question, but again, answer it however you want. But what turned you on into this world?
Ooh. What turns me on in the world? Meeting new people, like connections.
Oh yes, great answer.
I feel like there's like an unspoken, like, can't put your finger on it type of thing when you meet somebody new that like either you like automatically like them or automatically don't. Not to say that you have to go with that or that you should go with that, but like what is that thing? I feel like nobody, that's like an unexplained thing.
It's like when they say everybody is a stranger until you talk to them. A friend was once a stranger at one point. So some relationships, people were strangers. And it's funny you say that too, because I was talking with someone on the podcast. We were talking about more like when relationships don't work out. And it's crazy how some people make such an impact on you. And like years before you didn't even know they existed. But you also know that there's someone else, even if it didn't work out, that's even better out there for you, like times 10.
Crazy. It's crazy.
So I'd surely believe that. And we're going to find our bays, Ty. I know.
Definitely.
So, and you could take my idea for the, if you want to do the Highline walk.
Especially with this weather. It's so nice in New York today, by the way.
Oh, yes. It's stunning over here, too. Thank God for the sun.
Yes.
So my next question is, what turns you off in this world?
I guess I'm gonna bring it back to people, like bad attitudes, like people who are decidedly upset or decidedly in a bad mood.
No, we do not have time for that, especially now.
No bad vibes.
Hell fucking yes. Number 5. What sound or noise do you love?
people's voices. I think the voice is like so versatile and it can sound like so many different things, and it can be really soothing.
Oh yes, I think both of us have great voices, and makes us distinct. You know what's funny? I don't when I'm on dating apps, and like if somebody asks what I do, I tell them sometimes I do a podcast, but I don't necessarily. I would rather them later on know I have a podcast, because what if you hate me and you know what my show is and you start a hate campaign against me?
Right.
But there was one situation. It's always funny that brought up, and when they ask what's my podcast, I really shouldn't lie, so I've never lied with that. But I'm always skeptical. All right, I'm gonna tell them. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully I don't have bad vibes with them. And
Right.
and it's always funny, they can hear my voice before anything else. And
Uh-huh.
no one, at least to come to think of it, I haven't really dated anyone who since my podcast started. So but I definitely have told a few people on those apps where it is, and well, didn't work those times, but it will very soon.
It will very soon. I think that's such an interesting thing. Like who else gets to see like that side of someone before they date them? Like
Yeah.
the way you put yourself out here with this work, like that's pretty cool and pretty brave.
Oh, thank you. I'm just showing me I'm confident who I am, and I know somebody will like me for me. And I think that's the special dating lessons. And I actually had a relationship coming into the pandemic that ended, and I think
Same.
that was just these intense lessons that I'm sure both of us learned from it. So,
Yeah.
but it was for the better in that, and
Oh,
it is a
yeah.
crazy time. There's just one situation. We didn't mesh well. Not well. Nothing was bad. We just didn't mesh. And pretty much I just would stop talking. And she said this really weird joke that I don't even remember, but I wasn't offended by the joke. I was just like, this convo really isn't going anywhere. So oh well. So she actually found so I said the podcast, she found the podcast,
Oh
and
no.
I have my, especially on the website, I have my resume on there, because if you want to see, and they can call and contact me. And I get this text
Sure.
from this random number. I think her name was like Victoria. Hey, Matt, it's Victoria. I just wanted to say, hey, I know I said that joke, but I just didn't want to make ill will and bad terms. You found my number to text me that and everything. So I
Whoa.
so I first thought, okay, maybe she really wants to talk to me, because
Yeah.
she has to find it. So I said, so hey, hey, so what's going on? What are you up to? How's your day? She's like, oh, this doesn't change anything. I just want to say sorry for that. I was like, man, I should
Wow.
not have. That's what I get for responding.
Yeah.
But like we always say, on to the next one. And then, as we both said, there's someone better, 10 times better, that makes us get the ultimate vibes.
10 times better, at least.
Absolutely. So with that, what sound or noise do you hate?
Ooh. Sound or noise do I hate? Like mouth sounds. I don't like people like this is a good one. I just think it's obnoxious.
Definitely. Sometimes when you're near people who have intense PDA action going on, he's like, good for
Oh
you.
no.
Good for you, but
Good
do
for
it.
you.
You could just do it in another room far away.
I think so too.
So my next question can't be a different answer, because you kind of answered already, but it could be different. But what is your favorite curse word? We know your favorite word is fuck, but is there a different curse word?
Curse word.
It could be the same as well.
I definitely say, I mean, favorite word was fuck, but I think shit comes out of my mouth more often. Like shit is another good one.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit more immediate as far as like what I'm gonna say when something goes wrong.
Look at that. I definitely say shit a lot myself. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Ooh. Well, if we're considering my profession, I wear so many hats, Matt. I'll count out sex work, and I'll count out being a barista, and I'll also count out being a dancer / performer.
Yes. So out of those three, what would be that fourth hat that you would add on to you?
Other than those things, God, that's a really good question. I feel like I'd work in nightlife. Be like a promoter,
All right.
or like a PR manager, or something in the social realm.
Hey, it's never too late for that too. You could totally add that extra hat.
I could add that on there. I absolutely could.
We need a lot of new clubs and bars to open very soon, so we know who we're going to.
I'm ready. I'm your girl.
So having said that, what profession would you not like to do?
Oh, and I mean anything that requires like physical labor, manual labor. Not for me. My dad did it all his life, is still doing it. And it just doesn't look good on you after like a couple decades.
Makes sense. But
really
hey,
wears you down.
What a time for him. But
it's got to be done though. I totally believe that somebody's got to do it, but not me.
Yeah, I hear that too. I've definitely had my fair share of doing physical jobs too, especially the ones when I'm a PA on set as well. And yeah, I just figure my talents are better with my brain use.
Yeah.
So my final question for today. Tai, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
This is a good one. Oh my God, what do I want him to say to me? What do I want her to say to me? I don't know. Good job, sis. You did it.
Yes.
You did it.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. Congrats.
I don't know.
I love it. Tai, you are one incredible person. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being you. Let's definitely do this again soon. And just thank you so much for the great vibes, great stories, and being an amazing guest. Seriously.
Anytime, Matt.
Yeah, and feel free once it's in a non-cover world. Help show me more things in New York City and other ones.
Yeah.
So, and again,
definitely.
if you want to subscribe to Tai's OnlyFans, go to onlyfans.com, type in Heart of Tai, and check out the amazing content she is providing there. So again, that is the amazing Tai Hart. Thank you so much again for being an amazing guest. I will talk to you really, really soon.
Thank you, Matt. Bye.
Have a good day.